first step you can take when it comes to decluttering before the new year is to start small. What I mean by starting small, it's not necessarily a particular room, but a particular space. You can start with under the bed. Instead of starting with your whole bedroom, just start with under the bed. Focus on that one small area. It could take you, who knows, maybe an hour, maybe more, maybe entire week. That's another thing. Don't give yourself like a time limit, because that can cause a lot of stress and it can just cause you not want to complete the whole decluttering process, and try to give yourself a little bit more grace. So like I mentioned, under the bed, maybe a linen closet, you can just focus on that instead of the whole bathroom. Even outside your home, you can focus on your car instead of the entire car. Focus on your trunk and then figure out the rest of the car when you're done with the trunk. You truly don't have to declutter everything in a day. You don't have to start by decluttering an entire room. I feel like that's a lot of misconception we see online, where it's like, oh, well, just start with the bedroom, start with the bathroom. And I used to mention that a lot too, but I didn't take into consideration those of you that struggle with decluttering and how it can cause you so much anxiety and unnecessary stress. Because let's face it, tackling an entire room can be very, very daunting. So instead of doing the room, start with a very small space. It could even be like one part of the cabinet in the kitchen. Say you just focus on your mugs. Focus on decluttering just your mugs, not the glassware, not the wine glasses, not the plates, just your mugs. So just focus on one small area instead of looking at the bigger picture, because sometimes that looking at things like with the bigger picture can make us feel more behind, even though we're not there yet. It's best to start small instead of starting big, because a lot of times you will feel discouraged. So instead of feeling discouraged and, like I've been mentioning, stressed out, unnecessary stress, focus on the smallest area in your house. And you can even make up these areas. Say you just want to tackle one tiny corner of your bedroom because it has a lot of clothes, then go through that one corner. Not necessarily your closet, just that one corner that has clothes in your bedroom. That's it. We're not focusing on the closet or the bedroom, we're just focusing on that tiny corner of the bedroom. I hope that makes sense, and I hope it's helpful. Another thing you want to do when it comes to decluttering, and I feel like this is what helped me out a lot back in the day. I know I talk about the past a lot, but it's what made me who I am today. Focus on the 4 boxes or the 4 piles, however you want to label them. It's keep, donate, trash, and recycle. These 4 little sections helped me out so much. You can even like mix and match these sections. If you don't have anybody to donate this stuff to, and some things are in really, really good condition, you can cross out the donate pile and put sell. I did a mix of both. I donated some things that I knew that weren't really gonna sell, and the things that were gonna sell, I put on the side, because I did end up making a decent amount of money back in the day with selling things that I didn't use that were in good shape. So by creating these 4 sections or 4 boxes, it's going to make the decluttering process less overwhelming, because you know where everything is going. Even though things aren't technically organized per se, but you know that they're going into these sections, which makes it feel more organized and encourages you to keep going. At least it's what it did for me regarding the trash, the donate/sell, and the keep pile. I didn't really have many things to recycle, but the keep pile was the smallest pile out of the bunch. And once when I threw out all of the broken, expired items, had a pile for donating to people at my old job, and then just focused, after all that, focus on the things that I had to sell. It was a breeze, and it encouraged me to keep going and just keep up with this lifestyle, because I felt a sense of peace once when everything was done. With this whole section/box method, it provides structure for those of you that need it, and it helps out so much. It's like having a helping hand with you while decluttering without having someone with you. Keep what you use. This is something that I have learned, unlearned, relearned so many times. There's so many items that I got rid of just to get rid of. And I think a lot of people go through this, especially with adapting a minimalist lifestyle, decluttering for the first time. We tend to get rid of the things that we're like, oh, we're not gonna need it, or I don't need it. Get rid of it. And then a couple weeks or months or maybe a year later, you need that particular item that you chucked. And like I said, I am guilty as they come with this. So try your best to focus on what you truly need and keep that item. This is another thing that can save you money, because when you throw things out that you use and you have to repurchase them, you are wasting money. And like I said, I have done this so many times. I've actually done this a couple months ago, and I'm still learning. Like, we're not perfect. No one is perfect in this world. And this is something that I always have to relearn and try not to, you know, jump the situation where it's like, I want to live with less. I want to be in a house where it's just the things that I use all the time. Sometimes that's not how it goes. There are things that you are going to keep that you don't use all the time and that you use rarely. But those rarely occasions are important too. So I feel like in the minimalist world, we tend to like constantly say like, live with less, don't buy this, get rid of this, only have what you use every day. That's like the worst advice. And again, I have probably said that too in the past, and probably have gotten rid of more things than I should have. But you live and you learn. So I'm here to tell you guys, don't get rid of the things that you use, especially around the holidays or in the summertime. Don't get rid of the things that you use for certain seasons. Just because you don't use it every day doesn't mean it's junk. Keep that in mind with decluttering. I feel like this is the easiest / fun step. This is my favorite step after decluttering, and that is to organize. Now, everyone's organization skills and everyone's organization ideas are different, so keep that in mind. For me, for a little example, I like to have certain bins that have lids on them. So I have these seagrass bins that work great for our electronics. I also have another one for our bed sheets and pillowcases. It keeps everything nice and tidy. Dust doesn't get inside. I highly recommend bins that have covers. I'm not a fan of like the cloth bins. I feel like they lose their shape quite often, and they don't have their most of them don't have a sturdy enough like cover. And also when it comes to the closet, I try to make sure that all the hangers match. I try to make sure that what's hanging in my closet are things that I wear for the season. So since I decluttered all the things that I don't wear, period, what I keep showing are the things for the season. So such as, you know, it's winter time right now, and what I have in there are like sweatpants, sweatshirts, my snow boots, things like that, or, you know, that I use quite often. I have them more closer to the closet rather than tucked in the back during spring and summertime. But those are just little examples of what I do when it comes to organizing. Again, you can go about this any way you like. I find that this is the most fun part when it comes to the end of decluttering, is organizing. I know some people probably won't agree with me, but it is nice to see, you know, everything that you accomplish, everything that's nice and neat and organized. And it's nice to be in a house knowing that you don't have any more junk around that you don't use. And the last little thing, which this is kind of rare and you don't see a lot of people talking about this, but you should celebrate. You should reward yourself for accomplishing, you know, your decluttering. And I feel like some people look at decluttering, cleaning, and all that stuff as a chore. I feel like we should celebrate when we get those kind of tasks done, whether it's you having your favorite dessert or having your favorite meal or watching, you know, taking a nice shower or a bath and watching your favorite show after everything. Just, you know, however you like to celebrate, you should do that. I feel like, especially in the US, we tend to celebrate only when we accomplish something really, really big, like a milestone, whether it's buying a house, graduating college, having your first kid. We celebrate those big milestones, but we never celebrate the little milestones. I encourage you to reward yourself, because what you did is important, or what you do is important, whether it's big or small. So just don't forget about your, the small accomplishments. They matter too, because most of the time, small accomplishments can create big accomplishments at the end. On that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one.